All right, Scorpio, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. General reading, take what works, leave what doesn't. Check your other major placements if you so choose. Over on Vimeo, I'm doing love readings, and I already did yours, Scorpio. It's about opposites, having difficulty finding middle ground. But trust yourself, I think, was the overall thing. So if that message interests you and resonates with you, you're welcome to head over there. All right, we're going to do a traditional tarot spread with one of my new decks, which I'm very excited about, the Forhaxa deck. Overall, for the reading, this is really fun. This is the High Priestess. So this is about spirituality. Congrats, Scorpio. Very Scorpio card. What can be known, what can be not be known. What is the information that's being offered, information being withheld. Times when we have clarity, times when we don't have clarity. The High Priestess to me, and why I reacted the way I did, is because the High Priestess to me is the tarot deck. It is a spiritual way of connecting with the greater singular intelligence of which we are all a part. And she definitely gives and withholds as she so chooses. So not going to give the whole story, going to withhold some of the story, going to, for our own good, for our own benefit. So information, I would expect in this reading that what we're getting is an idea that perhaps not everything is going to be discussed here, that, but that's for your own good. So what is not revealed in this reading is intentional. Yeah, the High Priestess. There's something else I was going to say about her, but I forgot. But if it's important, it'll come back. Past, present, inner landscape. What's at issue? Environment, to-do list, possible outcome. So in the recent past, you have Two of Earth. A lot going on, very busy energy, tending to quite a few things, trying to grow and build things, split attention, split energy. This reminds me, story time with Empress Rose again. This reminds me of a costume I had when I had two small kids. I had a baby, just a couple months old, and a 3-year-old. Maybe she was 3. And I did a costume like this. I made a bunch of extra arms, and each arm was holding sort of a diaper, snacks, whatever, all the different things I had going on in my life. So there was a lot going on here. As a young mom working with 2 kids, it was a lot to deal with all the time. So that's a lot, that energy that you've been in, right? And then to have on the one hand, work issues that all need to be dealt with. On the other hand, family stuff that all needs to be dealt with. So this is sort of that's what I always get, is like work-life balance, trying to juggle a bunch of different things that all have priority, right? Got to keep the roof over our heads, got to also keep this going on here. So there's like a lot of juggling, a lot of work going on to make your life beautiful, make it happen, make it harmonious and gorgeous, just having to manage a lot here. And then there's a spider web in here, which I find really interesting. Spider web came out in the Scorpio love reading as well. Sort of just maybe holding it all together, spider webs to me are all about sort of the law of attraction, trying to attract beautiful things into our life. She's just focusing and working, and then there might also be a sense of being trapped and stuck in this situation, is how you felt in the past, of just like, there's a lot to manage and I can't let any of these balls drop. I'm sort of, in a sense, trapped here, juggling all these balls because I can't, if I let any of them drop, the whole thing falls apart. So that's an energy that you've been in, a little bit frantic, a little bit working, but you're trying to work to have a beautiful life, but it's a lot. In your current situation, we have 3 of air. Somehow this has led to some heartbreak. The threes fall for me. They call it like the harsher side of the Kabbalah tree of life, but my experience feels like it's more like the physical side. It's like the real side in reality, and the right hand side is like sort of gentler internal work, and the outside and the left hand side is sort of like externally what happens. So somebody got hurt here. There's some heartbreak here, and maybe you weren't able to keep all these balls in the air, and you weren't quite able to juggle everything. They may not be like I'm not seeing a big connection here. I just see like your life has been very busy, and then in the middle of that, there's sort of this like suffering that comes in, maybe a little bit unexpected. It almost feels like a betrayal. Of just this heartbreak, this longing for something to have not happened. There's a brutality. Maybe one of these things that you were working on was forcefully removed from your life. It's just, there's a lot of sadness here. There was a lot going on and like the thing about the Two of Pentacles is it was like, I'm juggling, it was a very full life. There's a lot going on here. And there was an element to, what you have experienced with this very full life is there's element of beauty to it. And I'm doing it. It's almost reminding me, Two of Pentacles is reminding me of a bicycle, which is going to also be Two of Pentacles, and sort of balancing on that bicycle and learning how to ride that bicycle and learning how to balance on just two wheels, these two pentacles that are turning. And pentacles can be time, health, money, anything like time. I always see the clocks also. So we have these clocks and these coins and these wheels that are going on, and it was hard to learn how to balance, learn how to ride that bike, but it was beautiful. And now it looks like there's been a crash and burn, like you've got a scraped knee or something, or maybe broke your arm or busted out your front teeth. What else has happened to riding bikes here? Busted out your front teeth, broke your arm. There's some suffering that has occurred here. It's like you fell off the bike and you really got hurt. So there's some pain and suffering here. There's a sense of need and desire, and to stop something. It's like you want to, speaking of like bike accidents and stuff, it's like that second before or as you're watching it happen, you want to stop, you want to reach out and no, don't. And it's just, I'm sensing this like slow-mo attempt to stop the accident from happening. And I'm not saying there's going to be an accident, but that's the message I'm getting, is this attempt to stop the accident. Or like, when you find out someone did something and you just want to go back and like stop them from doing that heartbreaking thing that they've done, that's really going to throw everything off. And it was also precarious anyway. You weren't, when you were first learning to ride a bike, it was precarious. It was, and any little bump, any little piece of gravel, that like any curb could just throw the whole thing into disarray. And that's what's happening. I see sort of a bit of a yard sale here, and a bit of a sense of wanting to go back because it was so lush, and now it all feels dead. And it happened so quickly. It was very unexpected. Your hopes, your fears, you want to nap. You want to lay down, nap, recalibrate. Let's come back to this later. I don't want to deal with this right now. It's the Four of Air. It's the nap card. It's the recalibration card. Like, now what? This whole past thing, this riding the bike through the beautiful garden is over, or is some aspect of it has been mucked up. And there's a sense of, now what? Like, do I get back on the bike, or do I just lay here and hold my skinned knee for a while? You'll get a Band-Aid, right? You've lost one skin. That's where the skinned knee metaphor feels important to me. It's like you've lost a bit of skin here. And which is it's just being a little bit positive. You did have skin in the game. This wasn't a pointless exercise. This was important. You've lost some skin, and before you get the new skin, you're just going to lay on the ground. Is what you just want to lay here for a while before you put a Band-Aid on, before you go clean it up. It's that moment of like, yep, I crashed on my bike and I just want to lay here, and yeah, we'll clean it up. We'll wash it out. We'll get to work on cleaning this up. But for now, I just want to lay here before I go get the Band-Aid, before I go get the second skin or the mole skin or before anything, before I have to recalibrate. There's a sense of just wanting, just lay down for a little bit and just process what's happened before you make your next move. Because it's not going to be like it was before. You're not going to, the bike's like got a bent wheel or something. Like you can't just get back on the bike. So you're wanting to just like lay here for a minute and kind of absorb what's happened. And before you have to like come up with a new plan for the next thing, there's like a, well, that sucked. And so that's what you're hoping for. Or you may be worried about it. It's what's on your mind. You may be worried about it too. You might be like, I hope this doesn't totally derail everything. So some of you are like, I don't want to, just give me a minute, please. And the others are like, nah, let's keep going. Nope, that didn't happen. That's fine. It's fine. Never mind the blood gushing out of my leg. Let's continue on with this fun little bike path here. So we have, what's our issue here is 7 of water. So this is a lot of choices, a lot of options, but you don't feel like you have options. You don't see the choices. You may have shut down a little bit here. There may be a little bit of like, having not like shutting down or just like emotionally shutting down. Because the 7 of water in the upright would be emotional overwhelm, and we're having exactly the opposite of emotional overwhelm. But it's also choices. It's also trying to make intellectual choices about what should be an emotional decision. You may not see how to go, there may not be like a really clear option for you right here. There's also a sense of like the emotions being overwhelming and heavy and preventing you from making good choices, and not just good choices, but clouding your thinking. There might be a lot of emotion clouding your thinking. And I just keep seeing like a sense of something having been cut down very sharply. And it's the dominant feeling is the loss. So you haven't been able to turn, and that's what we got with 4 of air too. You haven't been able to turn towards options, choices, what next? What do I do next? What's my intuition saying? There's like a lot of emotional processing going on here. And the focus is very much on the loss, not on the what's next, which I'm getting with the 4 of air up here. The focus is on the loss, not on the, we're not hopping back on this bike right now. We're pretty overwhelmed by the loss, which you would expect with the 3 of air. Not wanting to hop back into things. And being kind of weighed down in a sense of just drowning. This is a little bit of a dark reading. Hopefully it's just a hangnail really in your life and it's not quite as big. These cards can come in really big. And this 3 of air is just giant. It's just giant. Then we have in your environment 10 of fire. Scorpio, I don't mean to laugh, but this reading, like I want it to go better. I keep like hoping on your behalf, because I don't think you have a lot right now, but I'm hoping on your behalf that this turns around. Well, we've got karma coming in here, so that's our best bet here. So we have 10 of fire in your environment. This is like someone's been carrying a burden. It might not be you. It might be the situation has been very burdensome. And it's time to put it down. We've come to the volcano, and we can throw the ring in now. We don't have to continue carrying this ring. We have come to the place where the fire lives. We have come to the end of the passion. Someone is done with the passion. They are done with the fire. They have spent what they can spend here. So in your environment, we have the 10. So 10 is completion. It's the end. It's the end of a long journey. I feel like it's time for some cleansing or some purification of something. This cleansing, there's a sense of it's over. There's a sense of having arrived. And if 2 of air has you like keeping all these balls in the air, and 10 of fire is like, you know what, this 3 of air came in as a big disaster, and this 10 of fire is like, you can't do this anymore. You don't have to do this anymore. Your environment is telling you, stop trying on this, or stop the passion, or stop pouring yourself into this. It's time for you to stop pouring yourself into it. 10 of fire is generally like a well-known, seen in advance ending coming up here. And it should come in as a bit of a relief to someone. Someone here is feeling very relieved, like this is finally over. This has been a long time coming. We've had a lot of issues, and someone here feels the relief of the end of a long and difficult journey. And it started off maybe like really great, lots of passion, and now here we are. It's the end. It's time for this, trilogy to be over. Your to-do list, 3 of earth. This is my consultant card. My work with others, work as a team. You're not going to be able to do this alone. You need to find experts. You need to find, you need to consult with a therapist, a lawyer, a doctor, whatever. This is my consultant card. You need to find a consultant. Usually there's, in my mind, there's, with 3 of earth, there's usually payment involved. There's resources involved. So that would be like money, time, whatever. And there's a sense of having to work together as a team. So either to make money or or there's a money exchange as part of the team work, or some sort of exchange. But you need experts. And I like how both of these, like the corvid here and the fox here, both of these highly intelligent, very, very skilled forest experts. And I see you as the fairy. You want this apple, but you need you need help. You need a boost from the bottom. You need a boost from the top. You need very intelligent, smart, quick thinking help. I love that this 3 of earth, I just love this deck so much. I love that this 3 of earth has 2 of the well-known smartest forest animals we've got. You need the smart ones. You need some, you have a goal here, and I love how you're like sort of innocent, like, I want apple. And they're like, okay, this is going to be hard. So there's a sense of needing to work with other people to get what you want. And then, so it's like get a professional consultation, because, right, this 3 of air, especially this heartbreak, it's like, I don't know, you need expert help, right? If your car broke down, go to the best mechanic you can find. If you're having, if you were keeping your plumbing in your old house going great, and then it ends in disaster here, you're going to have to get if we're talking a plumbing metaphor, you got to get a whole new plumbing system. You can't just patch it over. You got to get a whole new thing, and you're going to need the best plumbers that you can find. And you might have to pay for that. You might have to pay for that expertise, but it'll be worth it. So where we're going, 6 of earth. I like the plumbing metaphor. It kind of tones it down a little bit. Here we have, again, this corvid. You're going to have to pay this corvid a hell of a lot of money. And it's never going to be enough. But we also have here, we have the hummingbird over here, right? And you still have to pay attention to all the stuff that you were paying attention. So it's like one side of this equation, like, died off. So you were juggling, you know, home, work, whatever, and you either lost your job or something fell apart, or you were juggling, you know, your plumbing and your car repairs or something like that. And then let's keep it to plumbing and car repairs. It's a lot more manageable that way. So it looks like, okay, let's say the hummingbirds are the car. So you're still gonna like keep your car afloat here, but this Corvid now with the plumbing situation here, it's gonna take a lot more resources. So Six of Earth is this balance coming in overall, coming back in, but it's sort of external to you, and it's sort of reaping what you sow, but there's also a sense of resource distribution happening here. And some parts need more in different times. This one needs more for a time period, and that one needs more. So it's a little bit actually the same energy of this Two of Earth, where we're juggling and balancing. But right now we're going to have a temporary imbalance in where we're putting our time and resources. Something needs attention, a lot of attention. And that's where I'm seeing this Three of Earth. You may have to pay someone quite a bit of money to deal with something, or you may have to just pay a lot of attention to something. You may have to, something's going to be a bit of a resource suck. But the thing with this Two of Earth bookending this whole reading is that part of it is going to be like, you still have to maintain all of this other part here. But now one side, you were trying to juggle a bunch of stuff. One side's going to need a lot of attention. And even if you just pour attention into it, it's still going to need more attention. But you're still going to have to keep this other side going. But now we've had this crisis happen on one side of the equation here. And it's going to take a lot of resources, time, attention, whatever. All right, Scorpio, let's see. We're going to grab, what can Scorpio look forward to? That was a little bit of a dark reading. I'm glad we kind of pulled it out of some of the darker spots, but what can Scorpio look forward to? I'm going to grab one like this. These are generally very positive cards. And so that's why I was like excited to get some positivity for you. Dear Scorpio, storm spirit. I shouldn't be laughing, but I am, because I meant my intention was positive, something to look forward to. A storm. Okay, well, what do we got here? We've got this. It looks like this Three of Air card, and it looks like this is the aftermath. So, I mean, what do we want? Do we want our tarot readings, right? Here's the tarot card, the card of the tarot. Do we want our tarot readings to just tell us everything's going to be fine and great, and then we never prepare, or we never are alert to some, you know, let's say this is a minor disaster, some plumbing disaster, right? This is saying there's a little bit of a minor disaster happening. Okay. So storm spirit cast, but what does a storm do? It clears the air. If you get a lot of rain, you know, in the party district, it'll wash away all the vomit off of the sidewalks. So that's good. It's going to wash away some stuff, clear the air, bring in some energy, maybe even some anger that is necessary in order to get stuff done. I like how it's 42, which, you know, is the answer to the life, the universe, and everything. It's a storm. Yeah, so this is kind of underscoring that this isn't like the easiest reading and most pleasant situation you've ever been on. I also like that we were talking about plumbing metaphor, and this looks like this could be a little bit of a plumbing metaphor too, as far as like lots of rain coming in, maybe electrical issues, I don't know. So storm spirit has something to do with this. And okay, best for last, spirit guardian of spring activation. So this actually relates really nicely to the love reading over on Vimeo, the spring fall situation over there. But spirit guardian of spring. I like that there's a sense of safety here. I don't like that there's only one swan. That's not my favorite thing. I don't like to see swans solo. But I do like this activation here. The chaos and the storm coming through is going to get you moving on something that maybe you were postponing. Maybe you knew like you were going to get, you knew you needed to eventually replace the plumbing. So this like activates that. And maybe you actually have a little bit of a plan already going into it. But this is going to activate the plan. Like, okay, now it's time. This chaos coming in activates the plan that maybe you've had for a while. Like you knew who you were going to hire. You knew what the costs were. You had a plan, and it might be time to activate that, to call in your helpers and your experts. All right, Scorpio. I hope that was helpful, and I hope, obviously you're going to make it through this and you're going to be okay in the end. And yeah, I hope it's a pretty mild chaos, mild storm, just a nice little spring storm. Awesome. See you guys.